Hey guys, it's Aspasia and welcome back to the channel. If you've been at all on the fitness and nutrition side of the internet, or if you're trying to lose weight and you're doing some research, you might have seen that you need to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose weight. And this is 100% true. You always need to be burning more calories than you're consuming if you want to lose weight. And for so many people, this means calorie counting. So you measure your food, you weigh your food, you block out your calories for the day. You can't go above that limit. And this is a very, very reliable method. This is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to at least start your journey so that you know what and how much you're putting in your body and what that actually looks like in front of you on your plate or in your palm. And while I recommend this to most of my clients, it's not totally feasible for everybody. And there are a lot of circumstances where counting calories can just be too stressful, too time consuming, and just not possible. I've had clients who are college students who use their meal plan and can't necessarily measure and track every ounce of food they're eating. I've had clients who travel a lot for work, for business, who are eating out a lot, and they can't obviously measure right in front of them. And it can get really, really overwhelming and really impossible to know exactly how many calories you're putting in your body. So how do you stay in a calorie deficit? Do you just throw in the towel and eat whatever you want, however much you want, and just forget the calories altogether? Well, if your goal is weight loss, but you can't count calories or you don't want to, you get obsessive with it and it's just not right for you. As your personal trainer bestie, I'm gonna give you 5 food rules that you should be adhering to if you wanna lose weight without tracking calories. So let's do it. So like I said, I'm going to give you 5 rules that you should follow in your everyday life to make it a lot easier to make sure you're in a calorie deficit without even tracking it all. And these are in no particular order. You're welcome to take a few, leave a few, do whatever works for you. I am here to help you guys. Real quick, if fat loss is your goal, I do have a fat loss 101 guide that breaks down weight loss into 3 simple steps so you can take strides towards your goals today. It's completely free. All you got to do is click that link in the description below. So without further ado, let's get into rule number 1, which is to fill half your plate with veggies for every meal. For dinner, this might look like literally just filling half your plate with broccoli or peas and carrots, whatever you like. But for something like breakfast, I like to do spinach and bell peppers in my egg scramble. So you don't have to take it that literally. The vegetable can be incorporated in the meal itself. You can add spinach or tomatoes to pasta. You could even blend up vegetables and then put it in a soup or in a pasta sauce. I've done that. That works really well for some hidden veggies. For lunch, I always like to have baby carrots on hand, cherry tomatoes, really just prioritizing a large portion of vegetables for every single meal. Vegetables are really high in nutrients, obviously, and fiber. So fiber is going to make you feel full for longer and make sure you're satiated in each meal. Most vegetables are also super high in volume and low in calories, so you can eat a lot of them and still stay in your calorie deficit. This is also why I like to add a really big salad for a lot of my meals throughout the week. A huge part of weight loss is just being satiated and feeling like you're eating a lot of food. So here is where vegetables can really shine. Number 2 is to make sure you're drinking at least 1 glass of water before every single meal. And in general, you should be drinking a lot of water in your fat loss journey. Drinking water before a meal can make it so that your stomach is a little bit more full before you start eating. And then it can also help you distinguish between those thirst and hunger cues. But really be careful with this one because you hear a lot of like fat loss, weight loss advice on the internet where it's like skinny girl methods of if you're hungry, just chew on some ice, drink some water, you won't be hungry anymore. This is not the case. Obviously, hunger still exists and you still need to be eating enough calories. So don't replace a whole meal with water. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're not counting calories and you're super, super hungry because you haven't drank or eaten anything all day, it can really get away from you. So make sure you're just drinking a little bit of water throughout your meal and beforehand to keep you a little more full and happy throughout your weight loss journey. Water is also really easily accessible, so you're not going out of your way to do anything crazy throughout the day or pull out a scale and track. You're just drinking a cup of water. And like I said, water has so many benefits. This is just going to be a great habit to get into in your daily life in general. Number 3 is to make protein the focal point of your meal. Always start with a good portion of protein, and especially if you're not counting calories, it's really good to know like the hand method. I'm not really like super familiar with this because I tend to just track everything and kind of know how much I'm eating anyways. But I'll put something on the screen right here to kind of show you that method. About a palm-sized portion of protein for every single meal is what we're going for here. And then for something like Greek yogurt, liquid egg whites, cottage cheese, you're gonna want to do a fist size for a cup of yogurt or whatever it is. is. Having this method in your back pocket is really good. Obviously, it's not foolproof. All of our hands are different sizes. I actually tend to have really, really big hands for my body. I'm actually really insecure about it. Really random fun fact is that one of my biggest insecurities is the size of my hands. I have really big hands. I don't know why, I just do. So in that case, obviously the portion's gonna be a little bit different for you if you have smaller hands or whatever. But in general, protein is just amazing for fat loss, for health in general. It's the building block of muscle. So if you're putting in time in the gym and you wanna have more muscle, protein is what is gonna build that and make sure that all of that time at the gym is not a waste. And protein is the macronutrient that takes the most calories to burn when you're digesting it. So you're actually gonna burn more calories digesting protein than any other macronutrient, which it's pretty minimal. It's like 20 to 30% more, I believe. So don't go super crazy with this fact. It's not a reason to cut out carbs or fat or anything like that. They all have their own amazing benefits in a holistic diet, but it is really important to prioritize protein. Most people are not getting enough protein. And I know this whole video is about not tracking, but it is kind of important to know how much protein you're eating in general so that you know where to go from there. Like I said, most people just aren't eating enough at all, and there are so many benefits. It's really important. So I'd recommend tracking your protein for a few days just to see where you're at on a regular basis and then go from there. But just knowing that you have a really solid source of protein in your meal is gonna make your fat loss journey a lot easier and a lot more successful. So whether it's chicken, fish, eggs, tofu, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, beans, protein powder, protein bars, the list goes on, but just choose a few of your favorites and have them on hand. And if you want a whole video on how to sneak extra protein into your diet and good sources of protein, make sure you put it in the comments below. I'd be happy to make a video like that for you. Okay, number 4 might sound a little weird. You might roll your eyes, but just stay with me. I've been doing this for years and I promise it works. Instead of putting all of your meals on a big dinner plate, get one of those smaller like side plates and put the same amount of food on that. Basically, you're using a smaller plate for the same amount of food. Again, I know this sounds crazy. I know this is like something that you would hear from like one of those almond moms or whatever, but it does work and I've been doing it for years. I'm telling you, I actually have grown to really love it. It just makes it look like I'm eating so much food. And now I don't even have big dinner plates in my house. Like I don't even have a use for them. If you take your normal portion sizes and put it on a smaller plate, I swear the food will pile up. It'll just feel like a lot. And it kind of tricks your brain into thinking that you're eating more than you are. Again, I know this is sounding super almond mom, but it's a really simple way to stick within a calorie deficit. And especially when you're not tracking calories, it's kind of easy for food to get away from you on those big plates. It's kind of similar to just filling half a plate with veggies. You're just leaving a little bit less room on your plate for more calorically dense foods like your carbs and your fats. Again, carbs and fats are super amazing for you. Really, 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 really important that you have every single food group in your diet to make sure that you're happy and healthy and getting all the nutrients you need. But the unfortunate truth is that your carbs and your fats are a little bit more calorically dense. So especially when you're not tracking, you just want to make sure that you're not going overboard with them, because I want to see you succeed on your fat loss journey. I know you want to succeed, so you can have all of those foods, just not in obscene portions. So definitely try getting smaller plates and putting your meals on those and just see if it makes a difference for you. Some people think it's the opposite. I've heard people who really love big plates because they like to spread out their food and it seems like a lot. So again, it's totally optional, totally take it or leave it, but that's just what I do. It works for me and I actually think it's kind of fun. Last but not least, we have rule number 5, which is no liquid calories. So back in the day, a little backstory for you, when I was 12 years old, I went on a fat loss journey, I guess you could say. I started doing really high intensity interval training all the time and I was eating way fewer calories than I should be. I don't recommend this. This is just what I did. And another thing that I did that helped me lose like 10 or 20 pounds was I cut out soda altogether. You guys, I have not had full sugar soda in 12 years. Maybe 12 years. I do attribute the 10 or 20 pounds that I lost when I was around 13 to cutting out soda. I used to love Mountain Dew. I loved Mountain Dew. I drank it all the time. I completely cut it out. I think I lost like 5 or 10 pounds just like that, literally just from soda. So if you're a regular soda drinker, cut it out for like a week and just see how you feel and see how much weight you lose, because it really can be dramatic if you're used to drinking those high sugar, high calorie sodas on a daily basis. I love diet soda. I utilize it in my diet for sure. I know the taste isn't totally there for a lot of you guys, or I've heard that the artificial sweetener can give you like a headache and stuff. Thankfully, I've never had to deal with that. And it is unfortunate because soda is really delicious, obviously. It's super high in sugar, super high in calories, and it's really hard to measure even if you are tracking. So for the sake of your fat loss, and honestly for the sake of your health in general, I would cut out soda. You can replace it for diet soda or tea or whatever you like that's 0 calories. Another thing that can really get away from you is the cream or sugar in your coffee. Even just a splash of cream that you think is just a few calories can add up to hundreds of calories. So that splash of cream that you're not even really thinking about can actually put you over your calorie deficit for the day and make it impossible to lose weight. That does not mean you have to drink black coffee. I usually use skim milk, or I do measure my half and half when I use it. But obviously for the sake of this video, we're not measuring, so I would stick to something like skim milk for your coffee. And then of course, any 0 calorie sweetener. They have so many fun syrups and flavors nowadays. So have fun with it. And then speaking of fun flavors, there's also so many little like fruit things that you can infuse with your water nowadays. So again, no excuses to be drinking your calories. And then for alcohol, obviously it's not the easiest or most fun thing to limit it altogether, but just give yourself a set amount of drinks that you're allowed to have in the week. So it's like you can have 3 or 4 drinks on Saturday, but the rest of the week, no alcohol. Also stick to simple drinks with just a shot of tequila or vodka, and 0 calorie mixers like Diet Coke or sparkling water. So those are my 5 food rules if you want to lose weight without counting calories. Quick closing thought before I end the video. I do recommend my clients track for at least a few days or a week, just to know what they're putting in their body and to get a sense of looking at a portion size and knowing actually what's in that, how many calories, because I would say like 99% of people literally have no idea how many calories they're actually eating, and they wildly misjudge their calories for the day. This makes it almost impossible to lose weight, and it can be really frustrating. So I really do recommend just counting for a little while, not forever, just to have a good sense of what portion sizes actually look like. But whether you count calories just for a few days, for a year, or you don't count them at all, I really do hope that these few food rules help you out and just act as some things to keep in mind on your fat loss journey. I really do understand how frustrating calorie counting can be and how it can literally take over your whole life. Trust me, even now the food noise is really loud for me, and I'm on a journey to try to not count calories as much anymore and not think about it all day, every day. So these are some rules that I'm taking into account in my own life, and I really hope they help you too. Remember, you can have a healthy body, but a healthy mind is also just as important, and you don't want to be obsessively counting calories and worried about every single little thing you're putting in your body for the rest of your life. So I really hope this video helped you take a few tools and put them in your back pocket for when you don't want to count calories, but you still want to live a healthy lifestyle and be in a calorie deficit. If this video did help you, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video from your personal trainer bestie. I also post every single day on my TikTok and Instagram. I'll link that below too. Bye guys.